Hey everyone, Rick here, and folks, it is time. Fresh off the boat is our party of 7 heroes. Their goal? To eliminate Tiamat. So obviously, as you can see, that's not going to be an easy feat. I mean, Tiamat pretty much dwarfs everything around her. You'd almost think that as soon as they stepped off the dock and looked to the west, they'd say, all right, let's get back on the boat. But no, our 7 adventurers are going to take on this challenge. So the way this is going to work is Dicey Depths rules. We are going to generate stats for each of the 5 heads of Tiamat. So it's going to be 5 bosses. Normally, a party in Dicey Depths is no more than 4. We're going to crank it up to 7. Can a party of 7 stand up to Tiamat? This is going to be very interesting. We're doing one of each of the various adventure types. We have a wizard, we have a conjurer, we have a rune master, we have a druid, we have a knight, we have a ranger, and we have a rogue. The 7 of them are going to be level 0. That's right, we're going to send all 7 at Tiamat, level 0, no items, just rolling up their stats. They each have their own unique special ability. We'll see how well they fare. First thing we're going to do, however, is generate the stats for the 5 heads of Tiamat and give them each a boss attribute. All right, let's begin with the first head. We are just going to call them black, green, red, blue, and white. So let's start off with the black dragon head, and we're just going to write it down as black. All right, so let's first roll to see what its special ability is going to be from our list of boss abilities. So there's 10 possible, and just to keep this unique for each of the heads, I'm going to make sure they each have a different ability. So no duplicates. The black dragon head, out of the 10, which ability does it have? It has number 2, which is brutality. Enemies with the brutality ability add 1 to the result of each of their attack dice. So when that black dragon head is rolling its fistful of dice, all those results add 1 to them to a max of 6, and then you'll have their ability, their dice result. So we'll write down that black has brutality. All right, so then let's get down to the stats. It's going to have an attack attribute, it's going to have an armor value, it's going to have HP, and then unlike other bosses, and we'll get into this in a second, it is going to have an initiative bonus. So what does that mean? Well, normally in Dicey Depths, the boss goes after every single adventurer. In this case, since there's 5 bosses simultaneously, having all 5 go after all 7 adventurers would essentially be sudden death. So instead, we are going to give each of the 5 dragon heads its own initiative bonus. We're just going to roll a d6 and we'll say that that's that. So the black dragon head has brutality. What is its attack attribute? Well, we are going to roll 3d6 and sum the 2 highest, and this is how many attack dice the black dragon's head has. All right, that's not looking too good for our adventures. So we start right off with the black dragon having brutality, rolling 11 dice. And don't forget, brutality means all 11 of those dice add 1 to their eventual results. So there you have it. Armor value. This is just a straight up D6 roll, but it's actually a D3. So cut this in half, round it up, and it is a 3. So it also has the max armor value possible. So only 4s or better will be able to hit the black dragon head. And then possibly one of the most important attributes is the health points. We're rolling 4d6. and we're summing them all to a minimum of 12. So if they, for some reason, this roll ended up being 4 1s, minimum of 12, but let's see how much health the Black Dragon Head has. All right, well, actually, it is just above minimum. We have a 13. So the Black Dragon Head has 13 health points. Now for the initiative bonus, it is just going to be a straight up d6, and it's a +5. So when we roll for initiative, the Black Dragon Head is going to get a 5 added to the result of its initiative roll. And there, folks, is the first of the 5 heads. This would be an absolutely insane boss all on its own. We've got to do this 4 more times. Oh, Christ on a cracker. Okay, so let's pause there and we will be back. All right, and we are back. We are going to go with the Green Dragon Head next. We're just kind of going in sequential order. So we have the Green Head. What is its claim to fame? What is its special ability? It's not going to have brutality, but what does it have? And again, no duplicates. We rolled a 2 for the second time, so let's give that another try. All right, it rolled an 8, so it's poison. All right, so the green dragon can inflict poison if it wounds an adventurer. Poison just means at the end of every combat round, any adventurer that has been poisoned is going to roll a d6. A 1, 2, or 3 is an additional wound. 4, 5, or 6 is no effect. So it's a 50-50 shot of taking an additional wound at the end of every combat round. So the green dragon inflicts poison. Fantastic. Oh boy. All right. It's one of those situations where it's like, okay, so we have poison. Now let's go ahead and roll up the stats. So first we have attack value. 3d6. Again, we're summing the 2 highest. And we have a 10. So this dragon is going to be rolling. I mean, it could be triple 1s. And at that point, its attack value is 2. But no, it has to be a 10. So we are going to go with the attack value of 10. This dragon is going to be rolling 10 attack dice. Then we also have the armor value, we have the health points, and we have the initiative bonus. So let's go with armor value next. Again, this is a D3 essentially. And it is a 3. So once again, the highest armor value possible. And then HP. How many health points does this green dragon have? Minimum of 12. And it looks like we are going to stick with the minimum of 12 here. So it would have had 9, but instead we're going with the minimum of 12. So we're catching a few lucky breaks when it comes to health points at the very least. I mean, obviously 12 health points is double the next strongest creature's health. So, that's still not low by any means. But when you think it could be 24, it's half of what it could potentially be. So then the initiative bonus, D6, is a +4. So it will add 4 to the result of its initiative roll. And that, folks, is the green dragon. Very strong, well-armored, fairly swift, and inflicts poison. All right, we will be back. All right, and we are now going to go with the red dragon, the big one front and center, right in the middle. What ability does it have? It's not going to inflict poison. It doesn't have brutality. What does it have? It has disease. Oh, fantastic. So this center dragon head could potentially inflict disease. What disease is similar to poison. As long as a single wound gets through on an adventurer, they become poison. And what disease does is -1 to all attack rolls and all defense rolls. Now, the good news is some abilities reward you for natural 6s. Some abilities have you declare odds or evens. Whatever the ability says, whatever your natural roll is what the ability takes for its resolution. So you will apply the disease afterwards when you're actually dealing the damage, trying to defend an attack. It will be that final modified result after applying the disease penalty. But natural 6s are still natural 6s prior to any modifications. I just say that to clear things up ahead of time. So this is the red dragon head that could be inflicting disease. So we have attack, we have armor value, we have HP, and we have an initiative bonus. So for attack, 3d6, sum the two highest. What do we have here? We have a 10. Awesome. For armor value, d3, what do we have? We have a 2, so at least a little bit better. Only 3s or better will hit the red dragon head. The HP is possibly a minimum of 12, maximum of 24. What do we got? And it looks like we are going with, once again, the minimum of 12. So that would have been an 11. Minimum of 12 for the second dragon in a row. Not bad, not bad. And then, I mean, at least we're winning. I don't know if I can say winning, but we're doing better in the HP arena than we were in the attack arena. This is initiative bonus, and of course, why not? A +5. So when we roll for the red dragon's initiative, it's going to get 5 added to it. And there you go, folks. There is the red dragon stats. All right, let's move on to, who's next? The blue dragon. All right, folks, it is now time for the blue dragon. So it'll be interesting. Leave in the comments below if any of our abilities or stats for any of these dragon heads actually match up with the stats in Dungeons & Dragons. Obviously, we're doing our own Dicey Depths abilities and gameplay and stuff, so this is all in a different world than Dungeons & Dragons would be. But it'd still be kind of cool to know if, you know, our abilities we're assigning to each of these dragon heads actually somewhat match up with a Dungeons & Dragons version of Tiamat. All right, so blue head, what are we doing here for abilities? We have a 3, which is Counter Strike, and I don't like that at all. Counter Strike, any natural defensive rolls of 6 result in unblockable wounds. So when we are targeting the blue dragon head, we as in the adventurers are targeting the blue dragon head. When the dragon head's rolling its defense dice, if it gets any 6s, those are automatic unblockable wounds against the adventurer that hit it. That is not good news. So blue has Counter Strike. And I'm just going to write counter because I cannot write that small. So we have its attack value. 3d6, sum the two highest, and we have an 8. Fantastic. That means the blue dragon is going to be rolling 8d6 when it attacks us. Armor value, once again, a 3. Good Lord. Again, it's D3 for armor. That's the highest armor value possible. Only 4s or better can hit it. Here we go. The all-important HP. And we got a 13, so we will go with that. 13 hit points. And the initiative bonus is a +4. Awesome. We have 1 dragon head left. It is the white dragon head. So let's get to that one. All right. The 5th and final dragon head is white. What is its ability? So it cannot be brutal, it can't be Counter Strike, it can't be disease, it can't be poison, but it can be any of the others. We have a 10. Oh, good God. It's relentless. It re-rolls all attack dice one time that fail to pierce the targeted adventurer's armor. There were some of these abilities that I was more worried about than others. Relentless is absolutely one of those. So it is relentless. I don't like that at all. I'll be even more afraid if this attack dice roll is really high. I'm hoping for, I don't know, maybe like 6. Let's hope for a 6. It's a 12. 3d6, sum the two highest. It is the most possible attack dice possible. I'll just say it again. Most attack dice possible, and it has relentless. It's going to be rolling 12 attack dice. Any of those that fail get to be re-rolled. Let's just, can we re-roll these stats? Armor value. Oh, cool. Highest armor value possible with a 3. Awesome. HP. Are you kidding me? This is no joke. This white dragon head is the strongest dragon head of all 5 we have rolled up so far. It has a health of 21. 21. The lowest health we've had up till now has been the minimum of 12. It has almost double the lowest dragon head. Oh my gosh. If this wasn't an uphill battle already, it has absolutely now become one. Initiative bonus. Why not? +6. It's also the fastest of all the dragon heads we've rolled so far. Here you are, folks. We have the white dragon head rolled up. Let's recap all 5 of these dragon heads and, sigh in disdain collectively. Here are the 5 dragon heads that we have rolled up. And this should dissolve any concerns that I might, try to roll this in favor of the adventurers. We have the black dragon head, brutality. All of its attack dice are going to be, whatever the result is, add 1 to it. Our highest armor value possible. HP 13 adds 5 to its initiative bonus. Next dragon over was the green one. It inflicts poison, 10 attack dice. Highest armor possible, HP of 12. Next one over was red. It inflicts disease with 10 attack dice. It has the lowest armor of any of them. Any of these could have been armor value 1, by the way, so only 2s or better would hit. Not a single armor value 1 here, but we do have an armor value 2, HP of 12. Blue has the counter strike ability, so anytime, again, we talked about this earlier, any 6s that it rolls when it's defending itself are automatic wounds against the adventurer that targeted it. And again, white, the relentless dragon, it re-rolls any attack dice that fail to pierce the adventurer's armor. It also has, oh my gosh, I wrote that wrong. It doesn't have 12 HP. Oh, no. It has 21 HP. That, I think my brain wanted it to have 12. Oh, no. We rolled that it has 21 HP. So here are the stats for the 5 dragon heads. Collectively, how much HP are we going to have to get through? 21 and 13, so there's 34, 44, 46, 56, 59, 69, nice, 71. 71 health points. Can we do it? We have 7 adventurers. That's about 10 health points apiece they're going to need to chip through while taking 10, 20, 31, 43, 51 attack dice. Every combat round, 51 total attack dice. All right, enough. Enough is enough. Let's get on to the adventurer creation. And that will be what we do now. All right, it is character creation time. We have 7 character sheets here. Some of these are from the prior versions of Dicey Depths. Before we had a speed attribute, before I included the level of the adventurer on the character sheet. But these will all work because we don't care about the speed attribute in this boss battle. So we have 7 different character classes. When I was originally going to do this, I was like, okay, well, a typical party is either, 3 or 4 adventurers. I just didn't see that even standing a chance. So I thought, well, there are 7 character classes. Let's just do a huge super party of all 7 and see how that ends up turning out. So we're going to start off with the rogue, the simplest of the characters, and we are going to name him Milton. Milton the rogue, and these are all, again, level 0. Milton is the rogue who always goes first. Milton completely ignores initiative as the rogue, and that's his special ability. Additionally, his ability is he's better at disarming traps. There's no traps in this boss battle. So Milton, unfortunately, doesn't have a really super cool ability here, but he will always get to go first. All right, let's find out how strong he is. We're rolling 2d6 and taking the higher, and it is a 6. Awesome. That's fantastic. So with these attributes, what we do is we roll for attack, armor, and health points. And what's going to happen is after we generate Milton's stats, he can choose one of those to re-roll, kind of like a mulligan. Or if you add up his attack value, his armor value, and his health value, and if that ends up being 10 or less, we re-roll the whole thing mandatorily. But starting off with an attack value of 6 is pretty good. That means Milton is going to get 6 attack dice when he attacks. His armor value is a 2. So it's a D3 armor value. That means 3s or better is what it's going to take to hit Milton. Speed is going to be a 4. We'll just write that down anyway. So it's a 6 minus whatever the armor value is. So the lighter armored you are, the faster you are. Health points. So for health points for Milton, it's going to be 4d6, and we're going to sum the 2 highest, and it is a 6. Yikes. Well, now that we are in the point where we add them up, it would be, 6 plus 2 is 8 plus 6 is 14. That's higher than 10, so we leave the stats, but he can pick one to reroll. He's rerolling health. We are going to need more than 6 health if we want to stand up to Tiamat. And we end up with a 9. That is definitely better than a 6. So a 5 plus a 4 is going to give us a health point value of 9. The target value for Milton is going to be a 1 or a 2. We are going to roll a d14. I've got a couple of them here to determine as we go down the line of heads which adventurer of the 7 it hits. Milton's going to be a 1 or a 2. And then the next adventure is going to be a 3 or a 4, 5 or a 6, 7 or 8, 9 or a 10, 11 or 12, 13 or 14. That's why we need a d14 to determine which head attacks which adventurer. All right, so that is Milton the Rogue. Milton the Rogue always goes first in combat. Say hello, hopefully not goodbye, to Milton the Rogue, and we will move on to the next adventurer. All right, next up we have the Ranger, and we have a female Ranger here. That camera will focus, and we are going to go with Suzanne. Suzanne the Ranger. Level 0. Class, again, she is a ranger. So what makes the ranger unique? 6s explode for Suzanne in attack rolls and defense rolls. So when Suzanne's rolling her attack dice, any 6s that she rolls explode, meaning for every natural 6 she rolls, roll another dice. And if that 6 explodes, roll another dice. That chain reaction can keep exploding like that, both in attack and defense. So now the all-important question is, well, just how strong is Suzanne, the Ranger, with her attack? She has an attack value of 4. That means she's going to be rolling 4 dice when she attacks. Her armor value is a 2, so only 3s or better will hit her, which means her speed, again, which doesn't matter here, is going to be a 4. Her health, 46, sum the 2 highest, and we have a 5 and a 3 for an 8. Initiative bonus, we didn't have to do this for the rogue, but for everybody else, it's 12 minus your HP. So Susanna's going to have an initiative bonus of a +4. So we add attack, armor, and health. That is a 14. No mandatory reroll. Do we want to risk re-rolling her attack roll? I say yes. Let's go ahead and give that a shot. I want to see a 5 or a 6 preferably, because the more dice we roll, love it, there's a 6. Of course, it could have been a 3. That would have been very bad. But it is a 6. Obviously, because the more attack dice we roll, obviously, it's always going to be better. But especially with Suzanne, more chances of rolling 6s, more exploding dice. Suzanne is going to be targeted by the dragons on a 3 or a 4. And that, folks, is Suzanne the Ranger. Say good luck to good old Suzanne. All right, and our third party member is the Knight. And he looks very proud, does the Knight. The Knight, we are going to call him Diaz. He's actually Dole's brother. Dole's not going to be in this, by the way. No, not because he's scared. Don't jump to conclusions. Dole's very optimistic about their chances, but he just had other things to do. So it's his brother Diaz who is the Knight. So what is the benefit of being a Knight? Well, first of all, you start out with automatic armor 3, which would make his speed 3. So only 4s or better can hit Diaz. Additionally, when he's rolling his defense dice, he adds 1 extra die, because normally when you are being attacked and whatever gets past your armor are the attack dice that are targeting you, you normally roll an amount of d6 equal to those attack dice, but Diaz will always get 1 more attack die than, one more defense die than the dice that are attacking him. In fact, I think, no, we haven't seen that ability yet. So then and also, he has another ability, and this is his most special, most proud ability that makes him a Knight. He can stand in when someone else is being targeted. Let's say we did not want Milton the Rogue. Maybe Milton wasn't looking too hot, and a dragon targets Milton. Diaz can step in front of the hit and take the hit for Milton. Obviously, he has better armor than Milton. He rolls an extra defense die in defense. So Diaz the Knight has all of those abilities. But how strong is Diaz? That's the question. 2d6, take the highest, and it is a 6. Awesome. So Diaz is going to be rolling 6 attack dice. Now, this is super important for him because obviously being someone who can step in for others, he's going to need a lot of HP here. We're hopefully looking at an HP of 10 or higher. Otherwise, I may consider re-rolling. 46, sum the 2 highest, and we have a 10. That was on my low end of what I wanted. Obviously, a max would be 12. So I'm not going to re-roll this and get something lower. We are going to stick with the 10. That means the initiative bonus, though, is a +2. Target value for Diaz is a 5 or a 6. So, folks, that is the Knight, our third party member, Diaz. Not looking too bad at all. All right, next up is the Wizard. And what a wizard he is. Very cool, old school metal figure. I just love the pose. He is ready to cast some spells. We're going to call him Spencer. Spencer the Wizard. Or, for alliteration, Spencer the Sorcerer. Spencer. And we're going to spell it like that. Kind of like censor. Censor Spencer, and his class, though, is Wizard, just to keep it with the way the rules are written, as much as we may want to call him a sorcerer. So, what makes the Wizard special? And this rounds out the 4 original character classes in Dicey Depths for those old school fans who've been watching from the beginning. The original 3 were Wizard, Ranger, which was originally called Fighter. It was originally Wizard, Fighter, and Rogue. Then we added the Knight, and since the Knight is also kind of a fighter, we changed the Fighter to a Ranger. So almost the original 4 were Wizard, Ranger, Rogue, and Knight. So the Wizard is... the special ability that the Wizard has is any pairs rolled when attacking or defending generate mana tokens. And these mana tokens, you can accumulate an infinite amount of them, no limit, and you can spend as many of them as you want as well. Each mana token you spend is an extra D6. You can't spend them on the turn you generate them, but if you had, prior mana tokens from a turn before, or whatever the case may be, you can spend them whenever you want. But every pair rolled is a mana token in both attack and defense to be used as extra D6 in future attacks and future defense rolls. So the Wizard, Spencer, let's see what we're looking at in terms of attack here. 2d6, take the higher, and we have a 6. Good Lord, we're rolling really well for our adventurer's attack so far. The armor value for the Wizard is a 2, kind of expected. Speed, that means, is going to be a 4. Again, we don't care about speed here. Speed would be in the regular gameplay speed tests. Some traps in between dungeon rooms may require a speed test, and you just have to roll a d6 below your speed. Health points. We rolled unbelievably badly. This would end up being a health of 4. Now, if we still added it up, attack of 4, armor of 2, and a health of 4, that would still be 12. That's above the 10 minimum, and we would leave it. But thankfully, we have a mulligan, and we are going to re-roll this, and we are going to use different dice. I think those dice may be spent. So here we go. Let's hope for the Wizard to have something other than a 4. And we have a 7. Ugh, that's still honestly not the best. But again, when we have the Knight who can step in to be targeted, Spencer, the Wizard, may be okay. But that's still not the best. When you think about max HP could have been 12, 7 is still just above halfway. But that does mean Spencer is going to be very fast because Spencer's initiative bonus is going to be a +5. When we're rolling for initiative, let's write that a little bit better. When we're rolling for initiative, Spencer is going to get a +5 to his initiative die roll. Target value for Spencer then is going to be a 7 or an 8. And that is Spencer, the Wizard. Very cool looking figure, not a lot of HP. All right, next is the next newest character class before we get into the 2 that I've just added to the repertoire just recently. We have the Druid, and I love this figure so much. Again, it's a heavy metal figure. I almost would have thought Ralpartha, but I don't know. It looks like it's 1999. I almost want to say that looks... I can't read the markings on there. I thought maybe it would have been Ralpartha or Grenadier or somebody. But look at this owl. I love the owl on the arm. And I didn't paint this. I picked this up in a lot of figures, but they did branches and leaves on the cape. Oh, yes. So that is our elderly Druid, and we're going to call him Dave. As you can tell, I'm not putting a whole lot of thought into these names because I just don't think they're going to last. I don't think they're going to make it out of here. Dave is the Druid. So what is so special about the Druid? Well, the Druid at the beginning of combat summons an animal companion. The Druid has 3 choices of animal companions, and we have a list here. It could be a bird, a snake, or a bear. And if you want to call it an eagle or a hawk or something cooler than bear, by all means. But just generically, those are the 3 options. So when choosing an animal companion, the bird has swooping strike. It gets to attack first, simultaneous with the rogue. It also has aerial acrobatics. It re-rolls any failed defense dice one time. If you go with the snake, it inflicts poison. We talked about poison earlier. It also has snake bite, which means any attack dice results of 6s explode, just like the ranger, but the snake doesn't also get that in defense like the ranger does. The bear is relentless. It rerolls failed attack dice one time, and it has brutality, so all attack dice results are increased by 1. So those are just some of the reasons you may want one of those, depending on the situation. Also, the animal companion doesn't have its own target value, so it'll never actually be targeted, but the druid can have the animal companion jump in and take a hit. Obviously, you may not want to do that because once you summon an animal companion and it is eliminated, that's it. You don't get to summon another one in that same combat. So you may want to hold off until the druid is in dire straits. Of course, once the druid is eliminated from combat, any summoned animal companion is also dispersed. And I think that's pretty much it. We'll talk about how we come up with the animal companion abilities later after we decide which animal companion we want with us for this particular battle. So then the druid's attack value. Let's find out what this is. This druid does get to act in combat along with their animal companion. So it's not like it's one or the other. So the druid can hold their own as well. And the druid just rolled snake eyes for its attack value. Its attack value is a 1. And we're going to set those dice aside. The armor value for the druid is a 3. So under all those thick robes, and we'd call armor, but it is kind of just an abstract term meaning the adventurer's ability to defend themselves. So it may not necessarily be like chainmail. It just may be their ability to, sidestep an attack, or in his case, being an older gentleman, he has a lot of experience and may have some tricks up his sleeve, which is why he is armor 3, so only 4s or better can hit him. And then the all-important health. 46, sum the 2 highest, and for health we have a 10. And that means we would leave this alone. So attack, armor, and health. And notice these are the older sheets that don't have speed on them. That is a 14, so we would not re-roll, but we will mulligan the attack roll. We are hoping and praying to the animal companion lords in the sky that we can do better than a 1. I'd be satisfied with a 4 or higher, to be honest. And I keep dropping dice. They don't want to be rolled. And we have a 4, so that will do it. Not too bad in the end. Much better than a 1. Because you got to think, the druid still gets to fight with all those attack dice in addition to the animal companion. So whatever the animal companion ends up being is still going to be in addition to Dave's attack dice. So that's not too bad at all. Initiative bonus then is going to be a +2, and the target value for the druid is going to be a 9 or a 10. All right, and that, folks, is the druid. All right, and second to last, our 6th party member is the conjurer. We have a female conjurer here. I absolutely love this model. This is a Free Blades model. And she could very well be a druid as well. But I already had that fantastic druid model, but I still wanted to use her. So I'm calling her a conjurer in this case. And this was the second newest adventurer type that has been added to Dicey Depths. And the conjurer at the beginning of combat summons one of 4 elemental conjurations. Could be water, wind, fire, or earth. And each of those elementals has their own special abilities as well. So the fire elemental has Raging Inferno. It gets one additional attack dice. So we will roll for whatever their stats are, but the fire elemental will always have one more attack dice than whatever we roll for its attack value. It also has whipping flames. Whenever it is attacked, regardless of if it took any wounds or not, the opponent, whoever attacked it, takes one automatic wound. So if the fire elemental is ever targeted, that's one guaranteed unblockable wound to the dragon head that attacked it. So with the Conjurer, unlike the Druid, where the Druid and its animal companion both attack, the Conjurer is so busy concentrating on the conjuration, the Conjurer doesn't attack on its own. And the elemental that it's conjuring takes over its target value as well. So it's basically the conjured elemental is doing the attacking and defending for the conjurer, whichever one we choose for this battle. The wind elemental has Razor Cyclone. Any natural results of 6 that it rolls, when opponent rolls for natural results of 6 are auto wounds. So, unlike the ranger or some of these other guys who, when they roll 6s, those 6s explode into additional attack dice, the wind elementals, razor shards of wind, are cutting into the opponent, and any 6s, any natural 6s, are auto unblockable wounds. It also has Rapid Gust. It attacks first, kind of like the bird and like the rogue, simultaneous with the rogue. So it's very fast, and 6s are auto wounds. Then the water elemental. It has Resilient Rain. Whatever we roll for its health points, add 2 to that result. So it will always have 2 more health points than we roll for it normally. Additionally, it has Torrential Storm. Before an attack roll, declare evens or odds and roll the attack dice. All natural dice rolls results of that chosen value explode. So if we roll and we roll a bunch of 2s and we said evens, then all those, 2s, 4s, 6s, whatever the case, all those explode into more dice. And those results, did those results also explode? No, it only happens once. So that explosion happens once. All right. So then the Earth Elemental has Corundum Armor. Armor 4. Normally, up till now, the highest armor we've seen is Armor 3. So only 4s or better can hit. The Earth Elemental has Armor 4, which means it can only be hit on 5s and 6s. That's unheard of. It also has Devastating Quake. When it attacks, opponent's defensive rolls of 1 cause auto wounds, unblockable wounds, to the defender. That is insane. So when the Earth Elemental is attacking one of those dragon heads, we'll see whatever the dice results are, see how many get eliminated because they didn't exceed the defender's armor. That, however many dice that is, that's how many dice the dragon head's going to roll in defense. And if it rolls any 1s, those are automatic unblockable wounds. Right back to itself. That's insane. So those are the 4 possibles, but just like the Druid, it's a once per combat situation. So once the elemental has been eliminated, and again, the elemental takes over the target value for the conjurer. So whenever the conjurer is targeted, it's the elemental that's taken the hit. And once that elemental is eliminated, it's just straight up the conjurer at that point. They can't conjure another conjuration. This was something they did prior to the battle. There's no time during the battle to get another conjuration off. So, yeah. So now let's figure out who this is. Did we already come up with a name for her? Oh, I want to call her Wendy because when we had that female sorceress, that female wizardress in our prior battles, it was always Wendy, but I don't want Wendy to die. Not that this individual's going to die. We're trying to be optimistic here, but I also don't feel, the absolute best, so I don't want to call her Wendy. What do I want to call her? I am blanking on names. Of course, we could come up with something. Oh, let's call her Celestia. I was like, do we want to go the route of like an actual fantasy sounding name? Why not? That is Celestia the Conjurer. Sorry for the squeaking marker. All right, so the attack value is 2d6. Take the higher. In this case, it's a 5. I don't know if you could see that down there. Yeah, you could. So that's a 5. 5 attack dice. And of course, this only matters once her conjuration is dispersed. Once her conjured elemental is eliminated, then Celestia is going to be going at it with 5 attack dice. Armor for Celestia is a 3. So again, despite her looking like she's lightly armored, it's still her ability to bob and weave and, maybe blast a little magic out there to knock the attack back or something. Health points, 46. Sum the 2 highest, and we have a very respectable 10. Which means the initiative bonus is a +2, and the target value is going to be an 11 or a 12. So on 11s or 12s, Celestia is going to be hit, or should I say her elemental is going to be hit, and that is Celestia. All right, folks, and this is the final member of our party. This is a character class I just came up with today. This is the Rune Master. So the Rune Master also has choices prior to combat, but also during combat. Unlike the Druid and the Conjurer, who once their summoned apparitions are eliminated, they don't get to summon additional ones, the Rune Master is just tossing runes out all right and left. The Rune Master is going to be named Rudy. Rudy the Rune Master. The Rune Master. And that's why I still have more of these cards out here, because I'm just going to write them down all right here, right now. So here is the Rune Master's runes. And so at the beginning of battle, before the combat begins, they're going to choose one of 4 possible elemental runes. The rune essentially provides the entire battlefield with an environment where there's going to be special rules for the battle. And, depending on the situation, maybe a different rune may be better in the future. So Rudy, on his turn in a combat round, can disperse the current rune and put out a new rune. The current rune's effect still stays in effect through the end of that combat round, and then the new rune will begin taking effect at the beginning of the next combat round. But that is his turn. So while Rudy is going to be attacking during the course of this battle with these rune effects going on, it will take a turn to stop, disperse the current rune, and put out a new rune. So it kind of makes you think, is that really worth doing? So let's go over these runes. They all need to have, and this is just kind of the fun of it, I guess you could say. So here we go. We have a fire rune. Oh, that looks so stupid. I don't know. Come on, we can do better than that. I wanted to draw like a cool fire rune symbol. I want to draw a cool rune looking symbol on each of these. So does that look like fire? So here it is. This is a rune of fire. And so what the fire rune does is Wall of Flames. Natural adventurer defensive rolls of 6 cause auto wounds to their opponents. So you can imagine when the Rune Master puts out the fire rune, a wall of flames shoots up. And, gaps are created when the adventurer jumps through to attack Tiamat and jumps back and the wall replenishes. But when Tiamat attacks an adventurer, it has to go through those flames. Now, it may or may not actually take a wound, but when the adventurer rolls their defense dice, any natural 6s count as those flames licking Tiamat and causing an auto wound for every natural 6 rolled in defense, while the fire rune is active. The next rune is the Rune of Wind. And I'm just going to do something lame like this. So the Rune of Wind gives swift strike. Adventurers act first in each round of combat in an order of their choosing. Throw out the initiative order. Of course, the 5 heads of Tiamat will still go in their initiative orders, but all adventurers are all going to go prior to Tiamat in an order of their choosing. The wind is swooping in and, allowing them to get an attack off much faster. So that is the Wind Rune. That would be fantastic if people, late in the battle, people are not looking hot. Maybe Tiamat has a really good initiative bonus and would get a lot of attacks off before the adventurers could have a shot. If we want to deal the death blow, have all the adventurers going first, the Wind Rune would be a decent idea there. Next up is, you probably guessed it, the Rune of Water. And now we can draw some raindrops. Oh God, these look so stupid. I'm the worst artist of all time. This is the Water Rune, and the Water Rune, when in play, provides Radiant Mist. At the end of each combat round, all adventurers heal 1 HP. If you're an adventurer that's already been eliminated, you do not benefit from this healing. So you don't come back to life, essentially. Now, if you are someone who's watched this channel for a while and watch all the Dicey Depths videos, healing is not something that is very common. Normally, between adventures, when you rest, you heal. If you somehow manage to scrape and claw and find an elixir, that will heal you. When you level up, you do get some healing. So there are a few scarce ways to heal, but there's no healing spells, and elixirs are in a big abundance. You normally have 1 or 2 at a time, maybe. So healing has always been a point of contention because it's definitely a pretty kind of a part of the difficult aspect of the game. The Water Rune. Of course, you're foregoing some of these other big benefits to have the Water Rune out there, but it will heal the entire party 1 HP at the end of each combat round. Is that worth it? Maybe, maybe not. And last but not least is the Rune of Earth. And this rune has the ability Tangled Vines. So I'm going to draw some little, maybe they kind of look like vines, except these do not look very tangled. They actually look very neat and orderly. So we got to draw some vines that are going different ways. And that doesn't look very good at all. But that is Tangled Vines. All adventurers, while the Earth Rune is in play, receive +1 to their armor value. Is that not absolutely nuts? And that includes conjurations, animal companions, elementals, whatever the case may be. So that increases an armor value to a max of 5. If you recall, the Earth Elemental has an armor value of 4, so only 5s and 6s could hit it. If this Earth Rune is in play, only 6s can hit it. It would bump the armor value up to a 5, so only 6s get through. That would be absolutely nuts. However, again, you have to choose which rune is right for the situation. So those are the 4 runes. I just drew them there. So during the game, we can actually swap these out depending on what the situation is. And that is the only character that can do that, because you can't swap the conjured elementals, you can't swap animal companions, but Rudy the Rune Master can absolutely swap out his runes. And I know this one's a long one. We are now going to roll to see what Rudy's attack is. Because Rudy gets the benefit of his runes, he does get to act in battle, and he has a 6. Rudy the Rune Master has an attack value of 6. Rudy has an armor value of 2. Rudy has a health point value of 11, which gives him, he's the slowest, I think, right? Because he only has an initiative bonus of a +1, and that means his target value, not that means, but because he's just the last adventure we've done, is a 13 or a 14. So when we roll to see when the head of Tiamat, whichever one is attacking at the time, rolls to target whoever it targets, on a 13 or a 14, it's going to be Rudy the Rune Master. Oh, there you go. That would have been a 14. That's why we need the D14s. So that, folks, is Rudy the Rune Master. All right, folks, we are off to the races. There's no stopping this train now. Good God. I don't even know how long this is going to take. So we better dive right in. So I think I've got this at a decent camera angle. I wasn't too excited about the angle because I wanted it maybe to come in from this way, but I think top down is okay. At least you can see all of this, all of this. I'm going to just be rolling the dice, not in a dice tray, because I want the dice to have a lot of bouncing movement, and it seems like the tray causes more issues than it's worth at times. Other times I am indebted to it. But anyway, so we have a couple things we need to do in getting started. We have to roll for initiative 12 times because we have to roll for, well, I guess 11 because the rogue doesn't have an initiative value. We also have to choose who is the conjurer's elemental that they're going to summon. We have to choose who the druid's animal companion is, and we have to choose the Rune Master's battlefield environment rune. And we got to make these decisions before the combat commences, before we even roll for initiative. All right, so let's do this first. Which of the 3 animal companions do we want? The bird, the snake, or the bear? And we choose this once, and that's it. So we've got to make a decision now. The bird would go first, and it's good at dodging attacks. The snake could poison Tiamat, which would be a huge deal. 6s also explode. Now, the bear is fantastic at combat. It would re-roll failed attack dice. All of its attack dice would be +1. I'm just going to say, let's go with the snake. I'm going with the snake because of that poison ability. If we can just, have it target one of the heads, another head, another head, another head, as long as it can do a wound, that head is poisoned for the entire battle, and that could slowly chip away at it, possibly. So the snake, I feel, is the best in this case. Here's the druid, here is the snake. Now, we do have to roll for the snake's attributes, and of course, I need to go grab a card. I actually need 2 cards, one for the snake, one for the elemental. So first up, the snake is a tier 1. We get to roll 2 dice and choose the higher for the snake. So let's write this down now. This is the snake's attributes. Here we go. It's a tier 1, which means this is a D3. Oh, good Christ. All right, well, we have a 1, essentially. So it is going to be an attack of 1. It is going to be an armor of 1. It has 1 hit point, and it can do poison damage, as well as 6s explode. So we'll just make a note of that there. So in other words, the snake, it's rolling 1 single die each time. And if the druid ever wants it to step in front and take a hit, it can. But otherwise, the snake, its only goal is to try to get a poison shot. That would have been fantastic. through to one of these heads, but that was the worst we could have possibly rolled for the animal companion. Next, we are going to choose which of the 4 elementals the Conjurer conjures: fire, wind, water, or earth. Oh, this is tough. This is tough. The earth elemental, armor 4, meaning 5s or better will be all that can hit it. Defensive rolls of 1 cause auto wounds to the defender. Wind, 6s, auto wound in attack. Water, explosion of dice. Oh gosh, I just don't know. I like the earth elemental though, I think. Well, no, because the earth elemental is great, but only if it ever gets targeted. But when it attacks, any ones that the defender rolls are going to be are auto wounds. So I think I like that, actually. That's what I'm going to go with. I am going with the earth elemental. The conjurer is summoning the earth elemental. 2d6, we're going to choose a higher. Come on, we've got to roll better than a 1 and a 2. There it is! How about boxcars? That is the absolute strongest earth elemental there could possibly be. So here we go. We're writing it down. Earth elemental. It has an attack value of 6, an armor of 4, because that's what it comes with, and 6 HP, and initiative bonus. That's what I forgot to do for the snake, was do its initiative bonus. The earth elemental actually doesn't have an initiative bonus, because that's just what the Celestia, the conjurer's initiative bonus. The earth elemental just gets that, which is a +2 essentially. I guess we can write it in here. +2, and I think that's it. All right, perfect. And we got to write down also that defensive 1. No, we don't need to write it down. We'll just remember the earth elemental, when it attacks, whichever head it attacks, when that head rolls defense, any ones that it rolls are auto wounds. That could be big. All right, last but definitely not least is the Rune Master, Rudy the Rune Master. Which of the 4 runes do we want to start out with? Fire, earth, water, or wind? I better not touch my white hoodie with these markered fingers. All right, anyway. So, and we can, and Rudy's the only one that can swap out their conjurations with these runes. The earth elemental and the snake are in it to win it, but we can swap out these runes at any time. So it's probably best not to put in the rune of water yet, which is healing. I like the rune of earth, which would benefit us all from the get-go with a +1 to all of our armors, including the earth elemental's armor would become a 5, meaning only 6 or better could hit it. But instead, rune of wind, adventurers, we would all strike first while the rune of wind is out there before all of the heads. But I think what we're going to go with first is the rune of fire. Defensive rolls of 6 cause auto wounds to Tiamat. That, I think, is what we're going to do. We are going to put out the rune of fire. Rudy the Rune Master is putting out the rune of fire. And of course, we can swap this out at any time. But as of right now, any 6s that we roll in defense are auto wounds. That we'll see how that ends up working out for us. But that is it. It is now time to roll for initiative. So let's get this show on the road. All right, let's do the heads of Tiamat first. So we have a 5 plus a 4 is a 9. We have a 4 plus a 4 is an 8. A 5 plus a 3 is an 8. A 4 plus a 6 is a 10. A 6 plus a 5 is an 11. And I'm just going to write all this down at the top. So we have a 9 for the black dragon. We have a 8 for the green dragon. We have an 8 for the red dragon. We have a 10 for the blue dragon. And we have an 11 for the white dragon. So it is going to be white dragon, blue dragon, black dragon, green dragon, and red dragon are going to be simultaneous. But of course, now we have to figure out what we do. Now we already know Milton the Rogue always goes first. And then who does what? Well, let's roll for the snake. The snake is initiative bonus of a 1. Plus a 2 is a 3. The Earth Elemental, aka Celestia, the Conjurer, is a 2 plus a 3 is a 5. So the Earth Elemental is a 5. Celestia, once the Earth Elemental bites the dust, is also a 5. Now, it is time for the rest of our adventurers. Suzanne the Ranger, a 4 plus a 2 is a 6. Diaz the Knight is a 2 plus a 2 is a 4. Spencer is a 5 plus a 6 is an 11. Dave the Druid is a 2 plus a 5 is a 7. And lastly, Rudy the Rune Master, a 1 plus a 2 is a 3. With all of these characters involved in the battle, the biggest battle I've ever done by far, I have these little tokens to put next to everybody to show that they've gone. But that's it, folks. It is now time to commence the battle because we have gotten the initiative order. So before we begin, the initiative order is Milton always goes first. White Dragon and Spencer the Wizard are simultaneous. Then it is the Blue Dragon. Then it is the Black Dragon. Then the Green and Red Dragons are simultaneous. Then it is Dave the Druid, Suzanne the Ranger, Celestia, Diaz, and Rudy the Rune Master, and the Snake are simultaneous at 3. So the dragons are actually going to get to go basically entirely first before any of us, except for Spencer and Milton, will get some shots in early. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Let's just do it. Since the White Dragon and Spencer the Wizard are simultaneous, let's go ahead and just do the White Dragon first. This is insane. This is crazy. We're rolling a D14 to figure out which adventurer the White Dragon targets. And it's a 3, which means it is Suzanne the Ranger. And the White Dragon is rolling 12 dice. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. The White Dragon is targeting Suzanne. The White Dragon is relentless, which means any of these dice that fail to pierce Suzanne's armor of 2 will get to be re-rolled. So 12 dice needing 3s or better, re-rolling misses. So re-rolling 1s and 2s, there were a couple of them. So that 1 was a 1 again the second time around, so it just misses. The rest of this, though, is absolutely brutal. Look at all of these 6s. And also all of these 5s, and a 4 and a couple 3s. This is not looking good for Suzanne. So that means Suzanne is rolling 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And of course, with only 1 miss, I could have easily figured that out without counting all those dice. But we're rolling 11 defense dice. Don't forget, with the fire rune in play, any 6s here are automatic wounds to the White Dragon. We'll see if that ends up being really, really good for us or not. All right, we rolled 1 6. Okay, and don't forget, 6s for Suzanne the Ranger explode. So Suzanne rolled really, really badly. Look at all of these 1s and 2s. That is 7 1s and 2s. That's insane. So first, let's go ahead and do this. The 6 means that one more die explodes and becomes a 5, thank goodness. So here's what Suzanne has blocked. Suzanne has blocked 2 4s, which means a 4 and a 3, 2 5s, and a 6, which leaves 6 defense, 6 wounds. Suzanne only has a health of 8. So she is already on death's door after the very first attack. So 6 wounds to Suzanne the Ranger. However, she rolled a 6 in defense, which means 1 automatic wound to the white dragon. It has the highest health of any of the dragons with 21. So we have now caused a single wound to that. So that dragon has now gone. Put that token there. And it is over to... Oh, you know what? I should have done Milton first. But no harm, no foul. Nothing actually happened there that changed anything. Milton the Rogue always goes first. So who does Milton want to actually target? We need to focus our efforts on a single dragon, I feel like. Who has the least health? Well, it's a tie between the green dragon and the red dragon. Poison and disease. I feel like we want to take out the red dragon that causes disease, which would really disable a lot of our attack power and defense power. So let's target the red dragon first. So Milton is rolling 6 dice and needs 3s or better. Milton rolled pretty decently. That's 50% hits, and that was all 6s. So the red dragon in defense. Oh my gosh, it actually managed to roll 2 6s. That kind of sucks, because that's only 1 single wound on the red dragon. All right, and that was Milton. And then we'll now have Spencer the Wizard go. Spencer is also rolling 6 dice. All on the red dragon again, needing 3s or better, and rolled pretty well. And the wizard loves pairs and rolled 2 pairs there, so that is 2 mana tokens generated for future use. But more importantly, rolled 5 hits, 2 3s, a 4, and 2 6s. So this is the red dragon in defense. And that's pretty good. So it only blocked 2 of it, which means 3 wounds got through. And the red dragon head is already a 3rd dead. We gotta hope that we can take it out before it diseases too much of our party. All right, and that was Spencer. Okay, next up is going to be pretty much all the dragons, unfortunately. So we'll go with the blue dragon next. The blue dragon is going to be targeting who? 7. It is targeting Spencer the Wizard. All right, well, Spencer generated a couple mana tokens for defense, so we'll see if those will come into play now. The blue dragon has Counter Strike, which is not an ability that helps it in attack, which is good, but it is rolling 8 attack dice, needing 3s or better. And it rolled pretty well. So it rolled 2 3s, a 4, 5, and 2 6s. And we'll put a token showing that it has gone. And now Spencer is not going to spend any of his mana just yet. So here are 6 defense dice, trying to block as much of that as he can. He doesn't block much at all. However, what he does do is generate 3 more mana tokens. So that was pretty good, but we really did not want to see all these wounds, because 2 6s block 2 6s, but 2 3s, a 4, and a 5 get through because he rolled nothing but 2s otherwise. So that's 4 wounds, and now Spencer is feeling the heat because, you know, Spencer only has a health of 7, so he only has 3 HP left. You can see why jumping into this battle at level 0 without having upgraded any of your stats and no items, at least we should have a couple of elixirs or something, right? All right, it is over to the black dragon. So let's stick a token on him. The black dragon attacks who? 11. It targets Celestia the Conjurer, which is fantastic because that means it's targeting the Earth Golem. The Earth Golem is pretty stout. All right, so, but the Black Dragon is very strong. So the Black Dragon is rolling 11 dice, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And it has brutality, which means all of these dice are +1 to a max of 6. The Earth Golem has an armor of 4, so the Black Dragon needs 5s and 6s. It also has something in defense, right? No. When the Earth Elemental attacks, there's something that happens, but not when it defends. So here we go. These are all +1. So this 5 becomes a 6, 6, 5 becomes a 6, 5 becomes a 6, 5 becomes a 6. So it rolled 5 6s in effect. It actually rolled pretty good because then there's also 3 5s, and that is it. But that was still a lot because it needed 5s or better, and it ended up rolling 8 hits. All right, so in defense, the Earth Golem is I keep calling it a golem. It's an elemental. 8 dice in defense, seeing how much of that it can block, and it blocked a decent amount of it, but it's still going to take a big hit here because that ends up being 4 blocked hits, but it does end up taking 4 wounds. So already the Earth Golem is not looking too good because that ends up being 4 wounds. It only has 2 health left. All right, so next up it is simultaneously the red dragon and the green dragon before the rest of our party will get to unleash. So let's do the red dragon first because he's the one who's the most pissed, or she rather, because, she's already taken quite a few wounds. Okay, let's roll to see who it hits first. And it hits 13. So it hits Rudy the Rune Master, rolling 10 dice. Good Lord. This is 10 dice on Rudy. Oh, God. You know what I've been forgetting to do? We have the Fire Rune out there. Natural adventure defensive rolls of 6 cause auto wounds to their opponent. Oh, God. So that black dragon just took some wounds. And so did the blue dragon. I'm going to have to look at the footage and see. We'll be back after I calculate how many wounds these dragons should have taken in return. Okay, after reviewing the tape, blue dragon should have taken 2 unblocked wounds. The black dragon should have taken 3 unblocked wounds. So let's go ahead and divvy those up now. Because these adventurers are already, some of them are already on their last leg. They can't afford to, be gypped of a couple of, too many wounds here. So, when they're owed them for sure. All right, so back to the red dragon who is attacking Rudy the Rune Master with 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 attack dice. And again, the red dragon has disease, so this is 10 dice on Rudy the Rune Master, needing 3s or better, and it rolled pretty average because there's a lot of 1s and 2s, but look at this, a decent amount of 4s or better, and it needed 3s or better, so there are 5 potential wounds there. And we'll remember now, because especially since this is on Rudy, who has this whole firewall blazing right now, any 6s rolled here are automatic wounds to the red dragon. Not a single 6, unfortunately. He only is able to block 2 of it. So Rudy the Rune Master will take 3 wounds, and Rudy is now diseased. So for the rest of this combat, unfortunately, because again, we have no elixirs, Rudy's diseased. All of Rudy's attacks and defense dice are all -1. Ugh. That is absolutely brutal. Okay, so it is now time for the green dragon to go. Who does the green dragon hit? 10. It is Dave the Druid. Does Dave want to put the snake out in front of him? No, absolutely not. The snake is there for a purpose. Wouldn't it be interesting, though, if the green dragon actually poisons Dave because it's Dave's snake that we want to poison the dragons? So let's go ahead and have the green dragon attack Dave just straight up. Dave has a decent amount of health, so hopefully he can withstand a shot here, because this is going to be 10 dice. 3, 6, 8, 10. 10 dice on Dave, needing 4s or better and getting quite a few of those. Only 3 misses. We have 2 4s, 3 5s, and 2 6s. And that means we need 7 dice in defense. And again, any 6s here are wounds on the green dragon. All right, 2 6s. So that means that will be 2 wounds on the green dragon, which is fantastic. But unfortunately for Dave, he didn't roll very well in defense. He rolled 2 6s and a 5, and that's it. Oh God, what did I roll? Why do I have more dice here? 2 6s and a 5 and 4. Yeah, okay, so 4 misses. That means Dave takes 4 wounds and is now poisoned. So folks at home, try to remind me through the power of telekinesis to have Dave roll for poison at the end of each combat round. Dave may suffer additional hits. All right, so that was everybody. And look at this. After all the dragons have gone, they all now have taken some wounds, which is fantastic for us. All right, so let's go ahead and go. And now it's a huge time for the adventurers, because now we have literally everybody else. Dave, then Suzanne, then Celestia, then Diaz, then Rudy and the snake simultaneously. All right, so next up is going to be Dave the Druid. All right, so Dave is going to roll 4 dice. Again, we're putting all of these on the red dragon, so 3s or better from Dave. Dave rolled a 5 and a 6. The red dragon rolls a 5, so that will be 1 more wound, slowly but surely chipping away at him. I'm going to run out of health tokens. I'm going to have to go get some supplementary tokens for that. All right, so that was Dave. Now over to Suzanne the Ranger, rolling 6 dice, and Suzanne, her 6s explode. Also on the red dragon, 3s or better. We rolled 2 6s, and we rolled another 6, and another 6, and a 2, which misses. So Suzanne has 2 3s and 4 6s. That is absolutely insane. All right, so that's going to be 6 defense dice for the red dragon. See how much of it that it can block. And it didn't block much. It blocked the 2 3s, but no 6s. So that's 4 more wounds on that red dragon. It is now over 2/3 dead, because there's a stack of 3. So yeah, it is actually exactly 3/4 dead. It has taken 9 total wounds now. All right, so that was Suzanne. Okay, let's see. Who do we have next? We have now Celestia, a.k.a. the Earth Elemental. The Earth Elemental is rolling 6 dice. And by the way, we could be splitting up, as adventurers, we could be splitting up our attack dice amongst multiple dragon heads, but of course we aren't, because we need to focus. So 6 dice. The Earth Elemental has that ability where whatever defensive rolls of 1 are auto wounds for the defender. So this needs to be 3s or better. 50-50. So we have a 3, 5, 6, and any defensive rolls of, what did I say, ones are auto wounds in addition to these wounds. So, oh my gosh, it has 2 wounds. It blocked a 3. So it takes 2 and it takes 2 more. It takes 4 wounds. And that is enough to eliminate the red dragon head. The red dragon head has been eliminated. That was insane. And we got some of those health point tokens back. Red dragon has been eliminated. All right. Yeah, well, we can just remove that, I guess. So that's 1 head down, and that is the Earth Elemental having gone. All right, so next up is Diaz, I believe, at number 4. So Diaz, now we got to pick a new target. We have 6 dice here. And don't forget, Diaz can step in front of one of these other ones if they get targeted again, like Suzanne. If Suzanne gets targeted again, we're going to have Diaz step in front of her. All right, but anyway, so Diaz, the knight, 6 attack dice going up against who? Well, we probably want it to go up against maybe the other one that also does poison, so another status effect. So let's have it go up against the green dragon head, so it will quit poisoning the party. So Diaz needs 4s or better here, and rolled a pair of 6s. The green dragon did not block any of that, so that'll be 2 wounds. So the green dragon has 8 health left, and that was Diaz. All right, so then last up is Rudy and the snake. So let's have the snake actually target the white dragon, because the white dragon has the most health, and a poison from the snake could have it chip away at it for a while. So the snake only gets 1 die against the white dragon, needing a 4 or better, and the snake does get a 5. That's great news. The white dragon, though, rolling to see what we have here. A 6. The white dragon blocked it. Son of a gun. All right, so nothing there. All right, so the snake has now gone. It is now over to Rudy the Rune Master, who unfortunately is diseased, so all of his attack dice are -1. He's still putting them all on the green dragon, needing 4s or better, so the 6 becomes a 5, 5 becomes a 4, 5 becomes a 4, and that is it. The rest of these miss. So now the green dragon in defense rolled really not the best, because it only blocked 1 of it, so 2 wounds get through. 2 more wounds on the green dragon. I think it is now half defeated, because it has 6 wounds out of 12. All right, so that was everybody. Everybody has now gone. So at the end of this combat round, Dave has to roll for poison, unfortunately. And it is no effect. 4 through 6 is no effect for poison. All right, let's go ahead and take away all of the action markers. And we will start a brand new round of combat with who else but Milton the Rogue. All right, so Milton is rolling 6 dice, and we're going to put them all on the green dragon. 4s or better. And we rolled a 4 and a 6. The green dragon in defense also rolled a 4 and a 6. The green dragon completely blocked Milton's attack. That's definitely not something we can afford to do, is whiff like that. So then next up it is Spencer and the white dragon. Let's have Spencer get his attack out of the way. Spencer the wizard rolling 6 dice. Let's spend 3 mana to add 3 more dice to this attack. This is 9 dice, needing 4s or better. Okay, I'm just trying to remember. I can't forget about that fire rune. All right, so 6, 6, 5, 5, 4. So that is all that hits. But we do have 1, 2, 3 more pairs. So Spencer gets those 3 mana tokens back. And now the green dragon is rolling 5 defense dice and rolled pretty decently, 4, 5, 5, meaning it only takes 2 more wounds, but we are slowly getting there. 2 more wounds on the green dragon. All right, so next up, now that Spencer has gone, is unfortunately the white dragon. So who does the white dragon target? It targets Milton. And Milton's okay. As I was looking to see if Diaz wanted to step in for Milton, and no, he does not, because Milton's looking pretty good. So the white dragon is rolling 12 dice. 3, 6, 9, 12. And needing 3s or better, but any of these that miss are re-rolled. Re-rolling 1s and 2s, and it rolled really well, so... Oh my gosh! It hit with 11 dice. That's absolutely insane. All right, so 5, 5, 5, 5, 4, 4, 4, and 4 6s. Good God. So that's going to be 11 defense dice. So here's 5 and here's 10. And again, what was that? Any 6s rolled in defense are going to be wounds on the white dragon. And there was not a single 6 rolled. So Milton is going to be taking a lot of wounds here. Holy smokes. So 2 5s block 2 5s. 3 4s block 3 4s. But the other 6 dice get through and cause 6 wounds to Milton. Milton only has 9 health. So this just completely almost wiped Milton off the face of the planet. Milton the Rogue is not looking too hot. So we are already down, like what? Over half our party is looking not too good right now. But, okay, anyway, we gotta be positive here. I mean, we took out a dragon head, I think, in the first combat round. That was insane. Okay, so that was the white dragon. Next up is the blue dragon. Okay, so the blue dragon, who does the blue dragon target? It targets 14. It targets Rudy the Rune Master. Rudy has a lot of health, so Diaz is not going to step in for Rudy. So the blue dragon is rolling 8 attack dice to Rudy, needing 3s or better. Rolled pretty well with a 3, 3 4s, a 5, and a 6. So 6 hits. And again, Rudy, any 6s here, thanks to the fire rune, will be wounds. And that is 3 more wounds on the blue dragon. So the blue dragon has already taken 5 wounds just due to the fire rune that's out there. And what did we block, in other words? We blocked this and this and this. So 2 more wounds. Oh, fudge. I'm going to have to look at the tape again because Rudy is diseased. So all of those should have been -1. Now, the fire rune is natural 6s, so the 3 wounds will still get through, but I'm going to have to look and see how much of Rudy's modified dice actually blocked. Okay, after checking the tape, which is another reason why I could not have done this live, just because of all the bookmaking, Rudy takes 3 more wounds because those 3 6s became 5s, and that's all that he blocked. The rest of that was too low, so 3 more wounds to Rudy. Rudy is up to 6 wounds right now. Okay, so that was the blue dragon. It is now over to the black dragon. Who is going to target who? Number 6, which is Diaz. So no, obviously Diaz is stepping in for himself. So Diaz is the target of the black dragon. So the black dragon is rolling 11 dice. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. These are all +1, so needing 4s or better here. All right, so that is 3 natural 6s. 4 becomes a 5, 4 becomes a 5, 3 becomes a 4, and that is it. So 6 potential wounds. And Diaz, being a knight, gets 1 extra defense die. Any 6s here are wounds and no fire rune 6s. And this was a terrible roll. 5 and a 4, block a 5 and a 4, but 4 wounds get through on Diaz, and I am now officially out of health tokens. I should have thought of that. So we're going to have to grab a substitute for health tokens, but there's 4 on Diaz. Everyone except... everyone! Everyone has now been wounded, except Celestia, but her Earth Golem is not looking too hot. Okay, so that was the Black Dragon. Now it is over to the Green Dragon, who could potentially poison someone. All right, so who does the Green Dragon target? Because we couldn't take it out before it got off another shot. Green Dragon targets number 10, which is Dave the Druid, who is already poisoned, so that's actually good news. 4, so Diaz is gonna let Dave take a hit here, because Dave is in better shape than Diaz, though Diaz still has a better defense. But, you know, at least Dave is already poisoned. So this isn't going to double poison him by any means. 10 attack dice, needing 4s or better, and rolling pretty well, I gotta say. So there are 2 4s, 4 5s, and a 6. Okay, so that is 7 potential wounds. Dave the Druid rolling in defense, rolling a 6. So that will do 1 residual wound, thanks to the fire rune, to the Green Dragon. I think we have our first character death. All right, let me make sure, because we only actually blocked 1. We blocked a 6. The rest of this is a 1, 2 2s, and 3 3s. That's 6 wounds. Dave already has 4 wounds. Plus 6 is 10. Dave only has a health of 10. Dave the Druid is dead. We've lost our first adventurer. The animal companion dissolves. I was not prepared for that. Oh my gosh. Goodbye, Mr. Snake. You got a shot off in the first round and almost poisoned somebody, but them's the breaks. Dave, thank you for your health tokens. We're going to need those. Dave the Druid has been laid to rest, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my gosh. Well, slide them on over. So now we have to reconfigure the target values. We need a D12 instead of a D14. Oh my gosh. Isn't that something? That was terrible. That was absolutely terrible. All right, so let's do this now. This is going to be, that makes Milton, oh, we'll do all this. Let's just erase them all right now, and we'll rewrite them all. Oops. Holy smokes. Dave the Druid just absolutely dropped like a sack of potatoes, and his snake animal companion is also just gone. Okay. So new target values. Milton is a 1. Wait. Oh, fudge. I didn't even need to redo most of these. Just the end ones. Because Milton is still a 1 or a 2. Suzanne is still a 3 or a 4. 5 or a 6. 7 or an 8. 9 or a 10. And 11 or a 12. Okay. Whew. If someone earlier in this row dies, then I'd have to redo them all. But in this case, no, I wouldn't have to. All right. So that was all the dragons. It is now the people. Now the adventurer's turn. We lost the Druid, so that means it's over to Suzanne the Ranger, rolling 6 dice. We're going up against the Green Dragon again. 4s or better, 6s explode. 2 6s, and another 6, and another 6. Oh my gosh, her 6s are going wild. All right, so that ends up being, oops, I knocked that over. That was a 6. That ends up being 5 potential wounds. This could kill the Green Dragon. And in fact, it does. The 5 blocks the 5, but the rest of this, 1s and 2s, means 4 wounds get through. The Green Dragon only had 3 wounds left. The Green Dragon has been eliminated. That is 2 of the 3 dragon heads gone. Oh my gosh, could the heroes actually pull it out? All right, so that was Suzanne. Now we move over to Celestia, the Earth Golem, who is now going to choose a new target. 6 dice. Let's go after... let's go after the Blue Dragon. I don't like its Counter-Strike ability, but it is already the most damaged of the dragon heads left. So 6 attack dice, needing 4s or better, and we do roll quite a good defense roll. So 2 5s and 2 6s. Now this Earth Elemental, when the elemental attacks, opponent's defensive rolls of 1 are auto wounds to the defender. So the blue dragon has that Counter-Strike ability, which says natural defensive rolls of 6 result in unblockable wounds. So if it rolls any 6s here, those are wounds, but if it rolls any 1s, it takes wounds. Okay, well, we don't have any 1s. It does take 2 wounds because it didn't block 2 of those hits. However, it does block 2 of them, but also did a 6, which is 1 unblockable wound right back to the Earth Golem. So the Earth Golem only has 1 wound left. And how much does the Blue Dragon now have? It has 1, 2, 3. It has 7. So it has 6 wounds left. All right, so that was the Earth Golem, aka Celestia the Conjurer. Now we have Diaz, the Knight, who is rolling 6 dice, also on the Blue Dragon, 4s or better, and it rolled very poorly, only 2 5s. So the Blue Dragon in defense rolls a 4 and a 5, so it blocks 1 of it, so it does take a wound. And that was Diaz. And then lastly, Rudy the Rune Master is rolling 6 dice. These are also on blue, and these are all -1 because he is diseased. So we have a 4, a 3, a 3, a 3, and that's literally it. It's just this 4, because the rest of this, it needed 4s or better. So does a 4 get through? Yes, it does, actually. It only rolled a 3 in defense, so that is a wound. All right, that was everybody. So it is now time for the next round of combat. Now, because there is no one who's poisoned, no one has to roll for poison. But it is now back over to Milton, who is going to be rolling 6 dice going up against the Blue Dragon. 6 dice, 4s or better, and it rolled 2 5s and a 4. So the Blue Dragon in defense rolled a 5, so that's 2 more wounds onto the Blue Dragon, and no 6s. All right, so that was Milton. Now let's do Spencer the Wizard, because Spencer's going to go on that Blue Dragon and potentially kill it. So Spencer has 6 dice. He's just going to cash in all 5 of these mana tokens for 5 more dice. So this is 11 dice on the Blue Dragon, 4s or better, and rolled unbelievably well. That was fantastic. And that's going to result in a lot of pairs. In fact, it results in, even though these didn't hit, that's 2, 3, 4 pairs. So Spencer almost got all of his mana tokens back. All right, so, but more importantly, that is 7 potential wounds on the blue dragon. And the blue dragon rolled a pair of 6s, which is good for it, but it blocks 2 of it, a 5 and a 4, and that's it. 3 wounds get through. That's enough to kill the blue dragon, but not before the blue dragon does 2 wounds right back, and that is almost enough to kill Spencer, actually. Spencer is down to 1 health point left, but the blue dragon has been slain. Oh my gosh. 3 of the 5 heads have been taken out. I'm telling you, though, it's going to be that white head that causes us all of the problems. All right, so that was Spencer, and as if on cue, it is the white dragon's turn. So 6 potential. You know, we could just have rolled a 6-sided die, I guess, but we're rolling a d12, and it targets 4, which is Suzanne. Now, Suzanne only has 2 health points left. Diaz is in better shape than Suzanne, so Diaz the Knight is going to step in for Suzanne. So this is going to be 12 attack dice. 3, 6, 12. Anything that misses is re-rolled, and this is 4s or better. Ooh, thankfully it has that re-roll because it only hit 3 times. 4, 6, 6. The rest of these were 3 or less, so it does get to re-roll those, and yikes, okay? So that ends up being a lot more wounds. We have 4 6s, 3 5s, and 2 4s. Good God. So what is that? 9 defense dice, except Diaz, being the knight, gets 1 extra, so 10 defense dice to block as much of this as he can. Oh. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, my gosh. Well, fudge. I forgot to see who has rolled 6s before for that defensive bonus. Now, Diaz rolled no 6s, and it's because of that. Not only does the white dragon not take any backlash from the fire rune, Diaz looks to be dead. But let's just double check. So a 5 blocks a 5, 2 4s will block 2 4s, and that's it. The rest of that gets through. That's 6 wounds, and Diaz only has 6 wounds left. Diaz the knight has been eliminated. Wow. Okay. Diaz the knight is down. Now we do have to reconfigure these things one more time. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll do 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 for these last 2. And there's no more stepping in for anybody now that the knight has been eliminated. So 5 through 6, 7 through 8, 9 through 10. And the white dragon has gone. And let me grab a d10. Okay. And I'm not sure if a dragon from last time even has gone. I don't know. And I don't know where in the world I would check the tape to see if that even happened, to see if someone had rolled a 6 in defense. But maybe they hadn't. Maybe it was all just us so far. Okay, so that was the white dragon. It is now the black dragon. And the black dragon targets who? A 9. It targets Rudy the Rune Master. 5 HP left. We'll see how well Rudy does in defense, because the black dragon is rolling 3, 6, 9, 10, 11. These are all +1 thanks to brutality, and Rudy is not looking too hot. So 5 becomes a 6, 5 becomes a 6, 5 becomes a 6. 2 3s become 4s. We needed 3s or better. There are 2 2s that become 3s. These other ones do miss. So that is 8 potential wounds. 3, 6, 7, 8. And these are all -1. However, 6s do cause wounds to the black dragon. And that is 2 wounds, thanks to the fire rune. But these are all -1 now. So the 6 becomes a 5. 6 becomes a 5. 5 becomes a 4. 2 4s become 3s. And that is going to be it. So we have... we blocked 4 of it, essentially. So 4 wounds get through, and Rudy only has 1 wound left. So... oh boy. These heroes, they've been fighting valiantly, and it's not over yet. It is not over yet by a long shot. Okay, so now it is back to the heroes. Suzanne goes next with a 6 initiative. So she is rolling 6 dice, and her 6s have been exploding like crazy. We're putting them all on the black dragon. 4s are better, and we did roll a 6, which resulted in another 6, which resulted in a 1. So that is 3 5s and 2 6s on the black dragon for 5 potential wounds. And we did roll a 6 in defense. Wait, was it a 6 in defense or a 1 in defense? Adventurer defensive rolls. Adventurer defensive rolls. So its defense roll doesn't do anything to it. God, all right, there's so much to remember here. So it rolled a 6, and that is literally it. It takes 4 wounds. Now, how's it doing health-wise? 2, that's 5. And 4 more. That was a terrible defensive roll on its part. So that is 6, 7, 8, 9. It only has 4 health points left. All right, so that was Suzanne. Now it is the Earth Golem's turn. Rolling 6 dice, also on the black dragon. 4s are better. It rolled 2 4s and a 5. Any 1s here will be wounds, and it didn't roll any 1s, and it rolled all 3 defenses. It didn't take any wounds. Rudy the Rune Master, 6 dice. These are all -1, needing 4s or better. So in the end, it ended up rolling a 5 and 2 4s after the disease. And in defense, it rolled 2 4s, so it only takes a wound, and unfortunately, it's going to get to go again. So that was everybody. So we will clear these off. Well, I guess I shouldn't say it gets to go again, because we don't actually know. Milton is going to get to go first. So here we go. Milton rolling 6 dice. Could save the day on the black dragon. 4s are better. We rolled a 4 and a 5. And in defense, the black dragon rolls a 5, so it takes 1 wound. Okay. And then Spencer gets to go as well. And Spencer's going to do the same thing. He's going to cash in all 4 of his mana tokens to add 4 more dice here against the black dragon, needing 4s or better, and he rolled really well and rolled a lot of pairs, which is the important thing for his mana purposes. So he gets 1, 2, 3, 4. He gets all his mana back. 4 mana tokens back and 7 potential hits on the black dragon. Let's see how well it can roll defensively. 2 4s, 3 5s, 2 wounds. I think that was just enough. That was just enough, because that ends up being 13 wounds on the black dragon. The black dragon head has been slain. Oh my gosh. All right, we are getting close. We are getting very close. So it is now the white dragon's turn. And who does the white dragon target is the question. The white dragon targets Rudy, and that's not good. because Rudy only has 1 health point left. 3, 6, 9, 12 attack dice, re-rolling anything that misses, which needs to be 3s or better. So all 1s and 2s are re-rolled, and I can already see that Rudy is dead because all these 6s are going to result in auto wounds, essentially. But we still do have to roll for defense, because any 6s we do roll in defense are going to be auto wounds to the dragon. 5, 10, 11, 12. So here's 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 defense dice. And that is 1 whopping wound. Awesome. 1 whopping wound. All right, so these are all -1, which means 5 wounds will get through, and Rudy, the Rune Master, has been slain. Unfortunately. All right, it was nice knowing you, Rudy. That also means, of course, the fire rune has been extinguished. No more counterattacks from the adventurers. Goodbye, Rudy. Your rune was fantastic for the adventurers. All right, so that is the white dragon. We have 2 characters left, Suzanne and Celestia. Suzanne is rolling 6 dice, needing 4s or better, 6s explode, and as always, her 6s are fantastic. Look at this. She rolled about as good as you possibly can. So here's 6 defense dice for the white dragon, and it did not roll very hot. It takes 5 wounds out of that. Good Lord. 5 wounds. It already had 2, so there's 3. And here is another 3 and a 1. So it's taken 6. It's down to 15 health. And that was Suzanne. I assume the white dragon's just going to be picking off an adventurer every round. So it just depends on if the white dragon can pick them all off before they do what they have to do. So now it's the earth golem, rolling 6 dice, needing 4s or better, and it rolled pretty well. It rolled a 4, 5, 6, 3 defense dice. Any 1s rolled are auto wounds, but it didn't roll any 1s. It rolled a 5, so that's going to be 2 more wounds, which is pretty good, and that is everybody. All right, so that was everybody. We're down to 4 heroes left. So now we have to reconfigure this again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, we'll just leave it like that. That actually ended up working out really well. And we will have a D8 for targeting purposes now. And we will have Milton go. So Milton rolling 6 dice, needing 4s or better, and getting them all. That was a fantastic hit. And in defense, 3 wounds end up getting through. 3 wounds on the white dragon. 3 wounds. So that is 12 wounds so far. All right. And next, it is Spencer and the white dragon simultaneously. So Spencer's going to get his attack off no matter what. We're going to add those 4 mana tokens. We'll put those off to the side because I have a feeling he's going to get those back. 4s or better. So we have a lot of 5s. We have 6 potential hits there, but there's and that was a 1. So there's a pair, there's a pair, there's a pair. So actually he only got 3 mana tokens back. And he ends up doing potentially 6 wounds. So let's see what he does. He does 2 wounds in all actuality. So 2 wounds. And that is it. It is now over to the white dragon, who targets Spencer the wizard, of course, rolling 12 dice. 4, 8, 12. Needing 3s or better, re-rolling misses. So that was a decent amount of misses. All right, but not then. So there are 2 6s, 2 5s. actually 5 5s. Good God. Okay, so Spencer's going to cash in his 3 mana tokens so he can have more defense dice. Because he's going to need 2, 4, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So there's 5, 10, 11, 12, and 3 more. 3 more from those mana tokens. We don't want to see any 1s or 2s. Oh boy, we see a lot of 1s and 2s. Well, let's see what we don't see first. There are 5 5s here, which will block all 5 of the 5s. And 2 4s and a 3 will block 2 4s and a 3. So that ends up being 3 wounds, and that is more than enough to kill Spencer. Spencer only had 1 wound left. So despite his mana token, Spencer the Wizard is eliminated. Thank you for coming, Spencer. At least Spencer got his attack off before biting the dust. So now, Celestia, we'll just write, is a 5 or a 6, and we will roll a d6 for targeting purposes. Oh my goodness. All right, so next up it is Suzanne the Ranger rolling 6 dice. 6s explode, needing 4s or better. She only rolled 2 hits, and in defense, it blocks 1 of it. So 1 wound onto the white dragon. Next up is the Earth Golem rolling 6 dice. I keep calling it a golem. Earth Elemental, 6 dice. 4s or better. 50-50, it rolled 3 5s. Any 1s here are wounds, and it did not roll any 1s, but it does take 2 more wounds. Okay, and that is everybody. So then it is over to Milton. Can Milton kill the final dragon head, or will it pick off another adventure? Because it has 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 16, 17. The white dragon head only has 4 health left. And just as if on cue, look at all that. That was pretty good. This could be the end of the white dragon. And it is. It only rolled 1 4. 4 wounds get through. And that is see you later. Because that ends up being what? 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21. 21 on the dot. The white dragon head has been eliminated. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. The adventurers actually won. So, to recap, we had at the beginning 7 adventurers, which is 3 or 4 more than a normal encounter. If we actually acted the dragon as we normally would a boss, the dragon would normally get to go after every single adventurer. That would be all 5 heads going after every single adventurer. Should we try that next? Because that would be pretty bad. As is, all 5 heads were eliminated by 7 of adventurers. But you look at the health points. Suzanne has 2 HP left. Milton has 3 HP left. The Earth Golem has 1 HP left. So if the white dragon were to get another shot off, which it would next, who would it target? It would target, oh, wrong guy. It would target Celestia, the Conjurer, which means it would target the Earth Golem, probably wipe the Earth Golem out. But then Celestia is still there with all her health points. Milton and Suzanne may be short, lived, but Celestia may have still been able to pull it off all on her own. As is, Suzanne with 2 HP, Milton with 3 HP, the Earth Golem with 1 HP, ended up doing just enough to eliminate Tiamat. I cannot believe it. So to sum it up, if you look back when we actually rolled to see what all of the dragon heads ended up being their health points were often either the minimum or very close to it. So the white dragon head had an HP of 21, but the blue, black, red, and green had 12, 12, 13, 13. It was a minimum of 12 HP. When you roll 4d6, add them all up. In that case, that would have been 15. That would have been fantastic. But instead, we rolled lower than 12 on 2 of them, so they got the minimum. The other 2 ended up being just above the minimum at 13, and only one of them had actually a decent HP of 21. So it's probably just poor rolling in the generation phase of the heads. But oh my gosh, it was a close one, folks, but 3 adventurers made it through to the end and have claimed victory. I hope that was as entertaining for you as it was for me. That was absolutely insane. But as always, folks, thank you all so much for watching. I do truly appreciate it, and until next time.